Hey y'all, this is a bit of a review slash overview of the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Apologies if this is a little bit scattered. A big thanks goes out to Capcom for providing a code for not just this, but its DLC as well, which will be the first thing that you'll get to take a peek at here. So, in the original Dead Rising, if you got a costume from a place in the mall, then switch costumes elsewhere, you can only get that other outfit or outfit part back by switching back immediately, or by going back to where you got it later, potentially meaning a long trip back to an area. As you can see here though, they added a locker to the security room. On top of it being where you access your DLC costumes, it also keeps all the costumes and costume parts you've worn logged, so you can come here and switch to them anytime. Additionally, the DLC costumes all have a music track that plays while you're going around the mall that's associated with the outfit in question. These outfits show up in cutscenes, which is really cool. So if you're seeing Frank dressed up like Leon from Resident Evil, that'd be why. With that out of the way, the first thing to touch on is the graphical and voice updates. This being in the RE engine, it looks really good, which I think goes without saying. There are a lot of details that players will notice going around that the original Dead Rising didn't have as well, like the entrances to places like Paradise Plaza or the food court being clearly marked in Leisure Park when they weren't before in the original game. The other thing that'll grab players' attention the most though is the voice acting. Though most of the lines in the game are one-to-one in regards to dialogue, they've been re-recorded by different VAs from what I can tell. And honestly, in my opinion, they do a great job carrying what the first game's voice actors delivered on, but of course, that's up to player opinion. Still, here are a couple of scenes for comparison's sake.
I've gotta help Brad, or he's done for.
All right, fine. Give me your gun. Come on, I'm the reason you just got hurt. Let me help.
No, I can't let a civilian do that. That's against regulations.
Yeah, well, I don't think they had zombie-infested malls in mind when they wrote those regulations, kid.
You know how to use this?
Kinda. I've covered wars, you know. Look, after I'm through helping you, you and I are gonna have a nice little chat.
I've got to help Brad, or he's done for.
All right, fine. Give me your gun. Come on. I'm the reason you just got hurt. Let me help.
No, I can't let a civilian do that. That's against regulations.
Yeah, well, I don't think they had zombie-infested malls in mind when they wrote those regulations, kid.
You know how to use this?
Kinda. I've covered wars, you know. Look, after I'm through helping you, you and I are gonna have a nice little chat.
Nice camera. Are you a photographer?
As a matter of fact, I am. Frank West, photojournalist.
Could you show me some pictures, Frank?
You really seem to know what you're doing. Who are you guys, anyway? And what are you... I took that one near the entrance. That guy do something?
Nope. Thanks for showing me, though.
Hey, we're not done talking yet. Just who are you guys?
I'm Jesse. The man you saw earlier is Brad. That's all I'm authorized to tell you.
Nice camera. Are you a photographer?
As a matter of fact, I am. Frank West, photojournalist.
Could you show me some pictures, Frank?
You really seem to know what you're doing. Who are you guys, anyway? Then what are you? I took that one near the entrance. That guy do something?
Nope. Thanks for showing me, though.
Hey, we're not done talking yet. Just who are you guys?
I'm Jesse. The man you saw earlier is Brad. That's all I'm authorized to tell you.
With that aside, now we can talk about the gameplay. There have been lots of things that have been changed in largely beneficial ways, be they small or large. There are 20 save file slots now, as opposed to you only having around 5 or so, and an autosave function. The autosave function's actually crazy good too. In the original Dead Rising, it was up to the player to make sure they found a spot to save their game, because if they died somewhere, they'd either have to deal with the potential loss of a lot of progress, or they'd have to use the option to save their current status, so Frank could start over stronger. The autosave in the remaster kicks in whenever you enter an area, and there are numerous checkpoints dotted throughout too, so now you don't have to be ultra concerned about whether or not you're going to get knocked back if a psychopath takes you down. It's a huge help in keeping the flow of your progress fairly smooth. Another big thing is that all the dialogue is voiced in the remaster, and this includes whenever you're taking a call from Otis. Otis in the OG version was considered a big hindrance, since if you took a call from him, you'd be locked up answering the call, unable to actually do anything until his dialogue was over. Here you can see me running in circles, mashing the attack command. Nothing happens until it's over. Compare this to the remaster and...
Hey, it's Otis back at the security room. Can you hear me, Frank? Let me give you a rundown on the mall's layout so you know what you're doing. Right on the other side of the warehouse, you'll find Paradise Plaza. There's lots of shops there. Restaurants, sporting goods, books, you name it. It's a pretty big mall, so you'll probably need to use the can now. Just check the map to find restrooms.
Speaking of mashing commands, with the new remaster comes a change in controls, and with that change in controls comes much friendlier response options and move commands. While you can change the controls to match the old Dead Rising's layout, I'd actually personally recommend getting used to the modern controls. No longer will you have to worry about wildly flicking your analog stick to shake free, potentially damaging your controller in the process. Now your various escape techniques are mapped to your face buttons. You'll have a far easier time with certain moves too. Vehicles are much more durable in the remaster as well. In the original, if I took the sports car down into the maintenance tunnel, it wouldn't take long for it to be out of commission. Run over too many zombies and a couple of fuel tanks and it's done. In the remaster though, it lasts way longer, giving the player a good deal more breathing room. Check it out. As these changes show, they've gone out of their way to make substantial changes to the way a lot of things function. This also accounts for the way Frank feels when he does specific things too. His jumps are floatier, and his jump kick move goes from knocking enemies down at a low angle in the OG game to sending enemies flying in the remaster, making it very good for managing space in front of you. Be warned though that as good as it is, it and other special moves for that matter, aren't without their bugs and glitches. All in all though, this is one of those remasters that does so many things right, does so many things better, that it's hard not to recommend that people skip over the original version and go straight to the remaster if they've got interest and the money to do so. If you've listened to me ramble for this long, it's greatly appreciated. I thoroughly enjoyed my playthrough of the remaster and thought I'd share my thoughts on it since I just finished the original not long beforehand. Hope anyone else who gets it digs it as much as I did. Take care of yourselves and stay awesome.